I want Jermaine
to dance. Kidding.
to talk about.
Hello, welcome to
Bulls Talk.
My name is Alyssa and I'm currently an undergraduate at NUS. Together with me, I have two guests.
Okay, I'm Jermaine and I actually graduated about 2 years ago.
My name is Wei Kai and I graduated slightly less than a year ago. Yep.
And you guys can hear me, I'm Duke. You guys cannot see me on the screen, but I'm the producer for today. And the topic that we'll be talking about, and the three of them will be sharing, is with regards to their experience of their student, work, and also family life. So we have the three of them to share with everybody and also among themselves of different experience stages and see what can come out from it. Okay, so to the three of y'all, you guys have been, some of y'all have been working for some time. As during undergrad portion, I think Alisa is the newest here, being an undergrad currently, and the two of y'all, the more senior one, just graduated or graduated for some time. What were some of the expectations that an undergrad working part-time in this industry? Maybe Jermaine, you can share first.
So wait, expectations is on myself or
Anything?
okay. So for me, when I was an undergrad, right, one of the expectations I had for myself, and the reason why I actually came into the industry, right, is because I wanted to also gain knowledge aside from school. I didn't just want to be studying for the next 4 years and then graduating and competing with all my peers to get like a role in the company. So instead, I thought like to increase and to boost my resume, I had to actually do something that will help me in terms of like not only earning like some money, but also like to just help my skills and knowledge. Yeah, that's my expectation. Then what about you, Alyssa?
My expectation would be to... So is expectation...
I think you view expectation as the wrong thing.
Really? But he said anything.
What should I expect from this?
Oh, is it?
Continue.
I think anything lah.
How I view expectation is more like what are we expecting in this industry, probably more on managing our time, especially as a student at that point of time. So also being part of working as part-time in this industry, we need to juggle our time with our schoolwork, our part-time work over here, because as much as we want to earn more money, but we also have to watch our results as well in school. Then we also have something called a contract maintenance in the company to fulfill in order to continue as a part-time as well. That's my form of expectation.
I think what I expect from by going into this industry would be to understand more about this industry and in a sense do something different apart from what I'm just doing in school, which is just studying and completing exams. I want to do something that is more practical, can be applied to different parts of our lives. Yeah.
So it's something more hands-on.
Yeah. Like in being able to interact with other people.
Okay.
But I agree with Wei Kai also in the sense that if you come into this industry as a student, then there are actually a lot more things that you have to juggle because you now have school and now you have like this job that you have to put time and effort into. If not, there will not be any results also. So I agree, like in that sense of expectations, then you need to be able to set your. We have to be able to set our time properly, especially we have like assignments and then finals, right? So you have to set time properly to be able to focus, like work, and then like when he has to focus on school, then we have to put our effort into school. Yeah, so that part I also agree. But then on my expectations, more towards at least what Alyssa said. Yeah.
And it's about managing your time. If you work hard in doing work, then you achieve good results. Expectation comes with hard work as well, I would say.
So imagine looking at your schedule, how would you say like what percentage of time is spent on work and what percentage of time is spent on studies or like with your family?
Because
Okay, so for myself, when I'm still an undergrad at that point of time, my curriculum was quite relaxed because I'm only focusing on one single module at a single point of time. I got more time to work in a way. So for myself, I say it's easier for me to also manage my time. I get to work whenever I want to, need to. Not like all those kind like local uni, they got a lot of modules at one single point of time. I think it's harder for them lah. For myself, I think it's quite easy. Yeah, that's how I do it.
yeah, and then for me, I won't say that I actually set like a percentage aside from school, family, and work. But it's more of like if I know, for example, like when the school term just start, right? That is actually our like least busy period in our school term. So in that sense, then I will make sure that I'll be setting more appointments, meeting more people, trying to get cases in that period. But then I know like once the school term is in our week 5, week 6, that's when everything gets like very busy. So for that, then I will have to plan. I always tell myself to plan way ahead. For example, like if I know like assignments will be coming up, and then we have to focus on doing assignments together as a group, right? So I will always ask them for their schedule and when they're free. So when we plan like projects meetings on a certain date, then I'll make sure that like on the other dates I will put in and try to slot in work. And then for family wise, weekends are always still for family. Yeah, so that's how I normally set aside. So like when I'm busier, then I will actually work less, but then still plan properly that like I can actually still do like a few appointments that week. But then like when the school term just started or holidays, then I will just focus more on work lor. Yeah. For you do you have any like I mean, cause you just came in also, so you have any like plans or how you going to plan your timing?
Yeah. How you plan to?
Cause you also got I mean you also have like CCAs, right? And then like more commitments in school also. So how you going to split everything?
I think that because of the nature of my degree, my curriculum is also pretty relaxed.
Oh.
Like I can squeeze my lessons within like to make it like a 3-day week that I would have to go to school. So that means that I would still have time available to do any other things that I would like to do, and ultimately it's just prioritizing what is more important at like first hand. And I believe that being able to do that will allow me to complete whatever urgent tasks.
Yeah, no.
So there are career schemes like that help us or compensate us for our time. I think X is a very good motivation. For her, yes.
Yeah, that one was most my
Now
motivation.
entering into full time, we also got this EPS, this career scheme.
Yeah lor.
Yeah, I think for me to really work hard this year is also wanting to clear this
Yeah lah,
year.
it's motivation.
Then
Yeah,
after
right.
that,
That's so.
I get to qualify for next year, so yeah. Actually, that's what I tell myself lah. Yeah.
So actually, this year, right? I mean, for like undergrads studying full time, actually we have advantage because last time like 6 years ago, right? As a full time EPS holder, right? So you're only eligible for 1 year, but then now 2 years. So 2 years, the company will just give you whatever you want, and I mean you have to fulfill lah, but it's very good. Yeah.
Especially for the newer schemes.
Yeah, especially
getting better and better.
Yeah, plus I think like some is advantage to us because I mean like after we graduate, right, we also want like something more fixed also because I mean that is one of my worry also. So like having 2 years worth, right, it really helps to boost our whole entire income in a whole year, I feel lah. So actually very good.
But like motivation aside, I feel like a big worry of a lot of people will be like if you don't hit
Correct.
your EPS,
Correct.
like what next? after
Correct.
that?
Correct.
Out of it, then it's just that hard truth lah. I think if you don't clear it out,
If you're out,
you're
then
not compensated monetarily.
Yeah, because you have to think, as in, okay, if we were to think like in terms of like a fresh grad, right? If let's say, I mean, if you choose like an EPS amount that is reasonable, we don't even choose like 6K every month. What that one I think very tough. But if let's say we choose like like 3K, 2.5, right? If you do hit every month, you're actually essentially getting about 5 to 6K, depending on what you choose. So fresh grad, 5 to 6K, I think is okay. Then if you, a lot of times like in this industry, they always say like, when you start off, when you first start, right, you have to form this habit. If you eventually can sustain like this 2.5 and 3K every single month, maybe for 6 months, right, I think you won't have you will likely have less issue completing the whole 2 years worth. Yeah, then after 2 years worth, right, then that's where we have a lot of things like our career bonus and everything to boost our income. Yeah, so the hardest is really, the starting is really the hardest. But if you cannot get 2.5 to 3, then I think maybe the industry not for us. Really, I think, we're better off going, to a corporate and then earn the money. Yeah.
If you have a breakthrough, then you're successful.
Yeah, so I still finding my breakthrough so honestly, yeah, still finding.
So, like coming from an undergrad, I would like to find out from the both of you, what was your biggest challenge when you were working as an undergrad?
To me, working as undergrad, working part-time, full-time, the only problem or the biggest challenge we see, right, is the activity during work. Yeah, I think because there are undergrads out there, knowing people that they can do well, there are full-timers out there, showing people that are not doing well. Yeah, so I don't think it's just because you have an undergrad, you got a reason not to do well also lah. So challenge is the same thing, it's your activity. If I ever clock activity, everything, then bring the cases, bring whatever work, bring whatever income that you should bring in, then I think it's fine. Yeah, so far that's my biggest challenge, having consistent activity there. Yeah, that's one.
For me, my biggest challenge was, I think in my third year when I was having like my full-time internship. So for myself, right, while I was actually having my full-time internship, I was also taking on 2 modules that 6 months period. And then talking about that, before that I told you that my motivation also honestly was the EPS. It boosts my monthly income also. So I was still on the scheme, so it means that I have to fulfill the EPS every single month also while I was on my internship. So that at that period I was actually juggling like full-time 9 to 6, and then 2 modules in school, and also this career. So that period was actually the most challenging to me. But then funnily enough, I think I work well under stress. So when that happens, right, really I work well under stress. So when that happens, right, I realized that I felt more urgency to be able to time manage myself, and then to put intern, after intern then work on school, after school work on this industry, this job. Yeah, so I thought that honestly, even though it was so challenging, right, but I thought that was very productive for me after the 6 months worth. Yeah.
So the biggest challenge is not enough stress.
Yeah, actually my biggest challenge, maybe it's not enough stress. Yeah, but that one was very challenging because I really, sometimes I had to OT also, because I was actually in a, okay, never mind, I don't want to say that, never mind, I don't want to say so much. Yeah, so I had to OT also. Then if you OT and then when you're having your assignments, right, then you have no time at all. And then knowing the fact that every single month I have to fulfill certain criteria to get my EPS money, right, yeah, stressful.
What are the challenges you foresee?
I think it will also be time management. Even though that I may have a relaxed schedule, but if I decide to take on other activities such as also going for internships in the future, then I think that there will also be something that I would have to plan properly and understand how to prioritize my time, my activities properly. Yeah.
Okay. So after hearing all the motivations and also challenges, right, I think it's also very important to make this thing more lively. Okay. I want Jermaine
to dance. Kidding.
To talk about, do you have an embarrassing moment? Be it work related
Okay. Let me think.
And also Wei Kai, what do you think was one of the most funny or silly moment that you can share while you were still studying and working?
Silly moment.
Yeah.
Mine is embarrassing, right?
Mm.
Embarrassing moment. Oh, let me think.
Wow, it's kind of hard. Don't really have any silly moments.
Let me think. How about you take embarrassing? I take silly moments.
I also don't have embarrassing moments.
Hannah, you very good ah. Okay, let me think. When did I feel the most paiseh? Oh, I think I know already. Okay, I think my most embarrassing moment as someone who is new to the industry, right? Especially when my Chinese isn't so good, right? Was when I had to actually speak and speak to my clients in Chinese. So I know I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't. Yeah, I know I couldn't do it, especially with the knowledge I had at the very initial stage, right? So I had to bring along our mentor Paul. So thankfully, I mean, he's very supportive. Like he really will come down, and he himself also he actually spoke on behalf of me to my clients entirely in Chinese. Yeah, I was so amazed, and then that was when I felt like a little bit embarrassed because I mean, these are my clients, but I needed someone to help me out with it. But thankfully, I mean, my clients, they themselves they're very nice people. They also understand that my Chinese might not be very good, so they see that I also I try to engage in the conversation when we were actually speaking. So I think that was my most paiseh moment, like not being able to deliver what I can, especially when I feel like I can, just because of the language barrier. Yeah. Paiseh.
Can you give an example of what Chinese do you speak?
Okay, for example, like how do you say like critical illness in Chinese on the spot?
So what's your answer?
No, now I know. Now I know it's 疾病. Yeah, but how? Okay, then how do you say maybe like TPD in Chinese? Oh my god, how to say it?
Do you know?
I don't know. I would just say 很严重，快要死了. You know that kind? I don't know. I don't know. But how do you say? How to say?
It's got 终身残废.
Whoa.
Right? Do you know?
No.
Right then. How to say I don't know, like there were so many things to be able to carry out that whole conversation in Chinese was so stressful that I cannot. But yeah, thankfully our team members like Wei Kai, Chinese quite strong, so can just call them. Yeah, call them to help. Yeah.
Wow, for myself, I can't really think of it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk more about the Chinese topic.
But then, okay, at that point also, my clients, right, they felt a bit paiseh also because they also felt like, I only can speak in Chinese, I cannot really speak in English. Then on my end also, I also feel paiseh. So, it's like both ways paiseh. But I think as long as you show them that you can be there for them and you can fulfill their needs and wants, right, then I think they'll trust you and come on with you. So now the servicing part, right, obviously Paul doesn't come with me now, so I will just service them. But then the way we speak to each other, right, is we will actually voice record because they understand English, they understand English, but they just cannot speak very well. Like they cannot communicate in English. They prefer to communicate in Chinese. So for myself also, I can understand Chinese, but I cannot reply in Chinese. I cannot speak Chinese, so we'll voice message. Or if not, then they will always call me. They will speak on the phone with like half broken Chinese and half broken English, both ways.
We should have a Chinese course of educating all of us.
Yeah, we should. So we actually do have also one new undergrad, right? Her Chinese is damn good. So I really asked her to help, to teach me how to speak Chinese. So yeah. So anyways, Chinese speaking clients, it's really very common. Initially, when I first started out, I didn't even think that this was going to be my worry, not being able to speak Chinese. Of course, I know my Chinese is not very good, but I didn't think that it would be any of my concern or any of my worry. Wow. When you're in this industry, you actually find a lot of people that prefers to speak in Chinese. And then that is actually one of my
biggest challenge for you.
Yeah, if not, then you'll lose this client just because of the language. Yeah. So are you confident in Chinese if let's say you have to
English
speak
processor as well.
Chinese? Okay lah.
Understand?
As in my Chinese academically
It's okay.
is okay,
But
but speaking Because
different.
I speak English mainly at
Yeah,
home.
it's different.
Everyone around me speaks
Also English.
So Chinese has gotten a little rusty.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So next time, every Thursday is a Chinese day. Only speak Chinese.
Actually, maybe
Find a day. Only
Yeah.
can speak Chinese.
But no, when we're in office, the Chinese is sick, right? It's not in relation to work. We don't say like,
Doesn't
like
matter.
whole life plan, endowments, investment. We don't talk about that like in work at work, in office. We always talk about like our life. Now what? That one is
Conversation.
normal conversation. I think it's easy.
Chinese ah.
Can I can I better already?
Chai
Yeah.
guai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, move on to the last question before we end. So the last question will be, can you all share and if you have any regrets throughout your whole working experience? Okay, yeah.
I can start first. Okay, so for myself, talking about regrets, I would say you can have regrets, but then in a way you should not have any regrets once you join this industry, because let's say the moment you start regretting, right, you lose your conviction of the reason why you initially started on this industry as well. Yeah, be it whether it's flexibility, wanting to help people, this kind of thing, you'll just go downhill lah. Then you end up messed up. It's very hard to get out from it lah. Yeah, so you should not have regrets lah. But for myself, whether I have, it's still a question mark because I haven't been in this industry for that long. Maybe including my undergrad days till now, around 2 years. Yeah, so too early to say.
For myself, I mean, I don't regret being in this industry. That's why I'm still here. But if you ask me, like, there's actually something I really regret, and then I want to advise you, Alisa, honestly. So my biggest regret, right, is not believing in myself that, like, how fulfilling this job can be when I was studying. Because I know as a student, right, actually, at that point, being in this industry was just a part-time job for me. So being a student was more of my priority then. But then my really biggest regret is not believing in myself, and then not actually putting in more effort and time into this industry. Why? Because if I were to turn back time, right, as an undergrad, right, I would probably work just a little bit harder to hit all the different bonuses that I can, and then now I'll be in a better position. So because I for myself, like back then, because it's just a part-time job, right, so I would just work when I am less busy, and then when I'm busy, sometimes certain months I really cannot work, I won't work one. Yeah, so because of that, right, the inconsistency, I couldn't actually hit all the bonuses that the company give us, which is actually very lucrative and is a very good incentive. So if I were to turn back time, right, I would just hit all the incentive because it's the easiest when you just started. Yeah, so that's really honestly my biggest regret.
Totally agree.
Yeah, so if I were to have like a better start, right, then at this point in time, I would probably be like honestly earning way more in terms of bonuses. Yeah. So that's really my regret. So if I can give you advice, honestly, just try to fulfill all the different criteria that the company throws at you as a bonus. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just extra money, and everybody wants money, right? So, and it's really not difficult to actually achieve. But then, as a student, I thought it was difficult. So yeah, lor, that's my regret, lor. Like, I really didn't believe myself. Yeah. And I probably didn't think deep enough to think that like all the bonuses can actually accumulate to such a big sum, which I could be enjoying now. At the point, I probably thought like, okay lah, I mean, if I don't have, it's okay. Wow, but biggest regret. Yeah, biggest regret. We have come to the end of today's video. So Breakwell Consultancy is actually actively hiring. If you are curious to find out what you can expect from this industry, feel free to drop us a DM. Our team will definitely reach out to you guys. And also, if you do enjoy this series, please remember to like and also subscribe to our channel, because your support will help with our video algorithm to reach out to more people. So if not, then we'll see you next time. Bye!